I'm going to use a dark brown thread. You could use a black if you want, or so on. Now we start at the eye of the hook, put down a layer of thread all the way along the shank. Just keep going until we get the thread in line with the barb of the hook, just at that point there. Now the tail, golden pheasant crest. Now length, again it's up to your preference. I mean, you're looking probably at least the length of the shank for a tail. You want this night the curve to come up. Doesn't really matter, I mean it sits whatever way it wants, but I hold the tail in my finger and thumb. I usually like to come round underneath and lift it. It's just like putting a dry fly tail on, and then I can move this around to get it to sit where I want, and that's fine. Trim this full length of the body. Now I'm going to rib this fly with silver wire. Just going to catch it on the side. Now at this point I'm just going to take the thread all the way up. Now I've waxed the thread again. I usually waxed it just to speed up the tines. Then let's take away this fibre I don't like. What I'm going to show you here is basically I use a wide tinsel, a large tinsel, not normally. But normally I find a lot of people have the medium size, right? Which doesn't cover as well. You've really got to be careful on how you actually put it on. The important part is you've got to have a nice level base of thread there, ready for winding your tinsel on. But this is an easy way to do it if you watch this. It's just a medium size, as I said. And it's a gold Mylar, gold and silver Mylar. It's from Uni. Now, what I normally do, you can catch it on the side with a couple of turns, 2 or 3 turns. And then, the gold side facing myself, but I bring this round so the silver comes to the side. And then I can wind down towards the tail. Just basically put a nice taper into the body, and then coming back up. You'll find this is one of the nicest bodies you can do. Now to save bulk, you can actually take the 3 turns back and catch both ends at the same time, so you're basically saving a bit of space there. You don't need to do that, but I'll just show you. Trim away that excess there. Just going to make sure there is wax on the thread at that point, because it's important that you make sure you've got wax to tie in something like this. You don't want it pulling out. Now for the body hackle, I'm going to use, it's like a medium red, natural red hackle. It's a cock hackle. Take away the fluff. This is going to be our palmer. Now I'm going to catch it in. You can draw it back for protection. It breaks off, but it'll be okay, it's still solid. Now you'll find that these hackles, they're quite soft at the bottom, and I like that. Now I'm going to do a turn, and another one, and another one. One satellite in front of the other as I go down, just to slightly thicken up that area, and then take it down the body. I'm into my 4th turn here, that's enough. Come across my thread, across the hackle, with the wire, and then bring my wire up. Just ignore the hackle, just rib the body of the fly with the wire. Break this off, and then anything going forward, any fibres going forward, I bring the wire up, and then put a 90-degree bend into the wire, but bring the thread up beside the wire. Keep the thread tight and on the top, and then wind down towards the eye. Bend and break away the wire, and you'll have a nice strong hackle body, so you will. Everything should be nice at that. Now for the throat. The throat of this is going to be blue jay. Now I've already had a fly off this feather, so there's enough there, you can see, for another fly. And all I do is bring 90 degrees or so from the stem, as you can see, they're lined up. Hold the tips and then tail them away from the feather. Now the easiest way is to, if you've got a vise like this, you can turn it upside down. Come in, basically pinch and loop it on like you would do a wing. Come in with a good 3 or 4 turns. Before you do anything at this point, just check your length. See how it's sitting. If you're happy, then you can trim away the waist end. Just be careful. Come in with a good sharp or good pointed pair of scissors. Trim away the waste. And I'll make sure I wax my thread. And then tidy up, ready for your wing. So bring it back round, ready. Now the wing I'm just going to use hen pheasant quill. There you go. Now you need a right and a left side. So cut a slit from either side. Length, just to check, see that looks okay, it's one. And from the other side. Now how you tie it in depending, if you want it more sedge-like, you can have it on the sides, meaning so it's curving round like a nice roof shape, or you can have it flat and sitting slightly up. It's entirely up to yourself. Now first, the measurement for me is, this is, you're looking at the underside, tips towards the end of the tail, see how things are sitting, fold them round, and you want it as close to the shank, you want it on the shank really close, and get your finger and thumb up, pinch and loop the thread through your fingers, slide it nice and tight, keeping a hold of the wing in your finger and thumb so that it doesn't move. The only part that should be moving is the waist ends here. At this point there's 2 or 3 turns there. I'm going to turn the fly around, see where I'm sitting. If I want it a wee bit closer to the hackle, to come over a couple of turns, just check. That looks okay. Trim away the waste. I usually bring the thread to the eye, sort of stretch it out, and build the thread turns from the eye up. Just form like a, if you build your threads up, you form like a small step, and you end up with a nice neat head doing it this way. That's the way I like to do it. Get to this point here, and then come in and whip finish. All the way back down, again using the thread to tidy up. And there we are. And that's the silver Invicta. Looks okay. And then a couple of coats of varnish and the fly is finished. So obviously wait for your first coat to dry. All the way around. Now I'm applying it with the brush. I find it easier to do that.